Hey everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. In today's video, we're going to be discussing bread lines again. Unbeknownst to many people across the United States, there's a lot going on. More bread lines, more homelessness, and more unemployment. Hang in there and we'll get right on into the video. Well, come to find out, when you do a little research, there's more bread lines in America. There's more unemployment. It hasn't ended, even though everybody's minds and everybody's sight has been pointed toward the stimulus and toward the spending bill and toward the spending for the military. The mainstream media and the leaders of this country would have you think that that's the only thing going on right now, and that everything's going to be okay, that they're going to send out $600 checks to everybody, and they're going to extend the eviction moratorium, and everything's going to be okay. And that's what folks would have you believe in our Congress and Senate. And that's just not the case. 2021 is not going to be an easy year. We've come out of a very difficult year that has been just about as crazy a year as I've ever lived in my life. There's been more things take place and happen than a person could ever hope or to never have to live through again. But the thing about it is, it's not getting better. We've said this from the start of this YouTube channel, that things are not going to get better. They're going to continue to get worse. And the thing about it is, the people who are in charge realize that if the people of this nation wake up and see what's going on, that they are going to be in some serious trouble. So they can't afford to ease up. So let's look into this article right here and see some things that's going on. It says bread lines stretch across America. The economic collapse is much worse than you're being told. And it really is. Our country is essentially divided between those who patiently wait for some food in bread lines, and those who sit comfortably at their own home waiting for the meltdown to be over while discovering the joy of baking bread. Some of us are still in our homes, and we still have the opportunity to cook and bake and feed ourselves and feed our families. And there are millions of those out there that are either on the verge of losing their homes or have already lost their homes, and they're standing in food lines. Many of them who still have their homes are standing in food lines or driving their vehicles to food lines, and the food lines are massive. People are hungry in America, and I never thought I would see the day that there would be this many people in unemployment lines, and this many people in bread lines, and people just needing help, not just needing a handout, but needing help. And our leaders are not helping the country at all by making them become dependent on the government. And that's all these stimuluses do. As long as the family is being broke down, and as long as the middle class America is being destroyed by the small businesses being shut down and put out of business, and the big box stores like Amazon and Walmart and these places becoming richer and richer and richer, all they're doing is putting people more dependent on government. They're not helping anybody in the middle and lower class at all. All it is destroying that section and that group of people, and it's going to remove the middle class into poverty, and it's going to move the rich into richer. And that's the two classes of people you're going to see in America when this is over, is the rich and the poor, and that's going to be it. So the bread lines, and they just keep increasing. They keep getting more and more. The collapse is laid bare just how unequal our system really is. And if you can't start seeing that by now, then there's something obviously wrong with what you're looking at. If you look at America today, and you look at everything that's been going on in the country, and you go back over the last year and examine what's taken place and how it's happened, if you look at all the restrictions, all these things that the governments have placed on their people in the states, and the reasons for them, and how they laid them out. I mean, they would tell people that you have to maintain a 6-foot distance and wear a face covering, and all these things, and then they would let them crowd into Walmart and Sam's and superstores and rub elbows, but yet they couldn't go to a small business when they wouldn't be 50 people a day in a small business, and rarely ever rub elbows in a small business. They weren't allowed to go there to the mom and pop stores. They had to be shut down because they were not essential. We need to think. We need to think about these things instead of just listen and accept everything that's told us. Just because the media tells you something doesn't make it correct. Just because the Senate or the Congress tells you something doesn't make it truth. You have to look at these things with your own eyes, and you have to listen with your own ears, and you have to examine these things and look for the truth in them. And we're seeing truth right here in this article again today that we've talked about many times in the past. I have several articles on this already, videos posted on this, but we're going to revisit it today because this is what we're coming into in 2021. I've had several people ask me over the last 2 weeks, what do you think 2021 is going to be like? How are we going to see 2021 unfold? What do you think's in store for 2021? Well, right here's 2021 looking us right in the face, right in the very start of this beginning of this year, as Utopia on Wall Street. Listen to what this says. As Utopia on Wall Street sends stock prices to astonishing heights, astronomical heights actually, Main Street remains in crisis, with roughly 8 million Americans joining the ranks of the poor since June. Now this doesn't say the ranks of unemployment. This said 8 million Americans who were previously considered middle class or above have reached the ranks of poor since June. 8 million people have fallen out of their income bracket who were making a fairly good living, have fallen into poverty since June. What does that say about the middle class, and what does that say about the small business? It says it has continually been plummeting. It has continually been just beat down. When you don't have middle class businesses, when you don't have the small businessman operating in America, you don't have an economy that's going to survive. This economy can't survive without the middle class and the business sector, the small businessman. The numbers are even letting some billionaires, now listen to this right here, and this is why I said this in the beginning of this video, that there's people in Congress and the Senate and in high places of authority and influence in America and in this world that live in fear of their people finding out what they're doing. The numbers are even letting some billionaires worried that the enormous inequality may lead to mass conflicts in months ahead, and even the establishment is showing it's afraid that things could suddenly get out of hand because much more turbulence is about to emerge. And the reason they're afraid it might get out of hand, it's not just the turbulence that's going to come behind this thing, because there will be, when people start getting hungry, things start happening. And when people feel like, or not just feel like, but when people realize and know that they have been lied to and their livings have been robbed from them and their family has gone hungry because of a bunch of bureaucrats have lied to them and stole from them, then you'll see turbulence take place. And that's what these leaders are afraid of. They're afraid of the truth being exposed. The turbulence that's going to emerge here is in 2021 as things continue to go downhill. They're not going to turn back uphill. And as long as people continue to believe and continue to follow what they're told to do by the establishment and by the mainstream media, things are going to continue to go in the direction they're going. We will see more businesses close this year. We've already heard that there is a new strain of this virus out here that's supposed to be 70% more contagious than the one that was unleashed in 2020. So now we've got a new one for 2021, and it's going to be more dangerous, and that means there's going to be more requirements. That means there's going to be more mandates. That means there's going to be more laws trying to be passed, just like the law that they're trying to pass right now for Congress when they meet in Congress with the gender issues. These things will be rolled out on the American people as we go into 2021, and you're going to see a very strenuous year. I would encourage you, especially if you're a person who does not wear face coverings, or if you don't plan on taking the shot that's coming out, I would encourage you to prep, and keep prepping. If you've got a dime to prep with, you need to prep. If you've got a place to put a can of food, you need to put a can of food in somewhere. This is not getting easier. These things that we see in the Congress that's going on, just the little glimpses of things that we can see happening in America. When you see 8 million people move from middle class to the poverty level in 6 months' time, something's wrong. Something's bad wrong. When you see the number of small businesses that have been closed over this past year and never to be reopened again, something's bad wrong. It should make you realize that there's things going on here that are very deceptive, that the truth is not being told to you. It should help you understand with what's coming up here in 2021 when they announce that there's a new strain or a new mutant. This virus has mutated, and now there's a new strain of it, and it's going to be much worse than the one before, and even this shot might not fix it. That should open your eyes. That should make you understand what's being done and what the plan for this whole thing is. I hope that many of you who have had doubts will quit doubting and start understanding what the truth is, and that you will start prepping, that you will get your family ready, that you will get yourself ready for 2021, because it is going to be a roller coaster of a ride. It's going to be a tough one. So God bless you all. I pray that if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, that you would look to Him for eternal salvation, for He is truly our hope and our peace. Remember that if you know the Lord Jesus Christ, that He has not given you the spirit of fear, but the spirit of peace and of sound mind. And we can trust in Him and put our hope in Him, and none of this stuff will cause us fear. So with that being said, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.